Hey Eurovision fans, Ladaniva will represent Armenia in Eurovision 2024 with their song Jako. I'm going to listen, react to the music video and give you my analysis of the song and the lyrics. Then we'll talk about Armenia's place in the contest by looking at their 10-year record and their qualification record. And finally, we'll talk about how could this do in Eurovision 2024, can this qualify and what could it do in the final. So let's kiki. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Tom. I'm an Irish Eurovision analyst and you can find all of this stuff on my Eurovision channel. So Armenia this year is going to be represented by Ladaniva, which I believe is a French-Armenian duo. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it right, Ladaniva, I'm not sure. They're originally from Lille in France and it consists of Armenian singer Yaklin Bagdasaryan and French multi-instrumentalist Louis Thomas. And their musical style is inspired by music around the world, so really cool. Hopefully we're going to be getting some ethnic sounds, and it's cool to see this connection with France because this is one of the things that a lot of commenters explained to me last year is that there's a big Armenian diaspora in France. That's why the French Televote points often go to Armenia every year. And the song was actually released late September, so it's kind of been existing on the internet, but Armenian delegation have been good at keeping a secret that it is the official song. It looks quite short as well. The music video is only 2 minutes 38. The song is called Jako, which I believe is a nickname for the female singer. Apparently this is a nickname that she had when she was a child or something. I believe the song is Armenian, but there's no subtitles, so I'm not going to know what it means the first time. I'll keep as much of the audio and visuals as possible, but I'm going to get copyrighted, so I'll put the originals up onto my Patreon. Okay, this is Ladaniva singing Jako. Wanna know my secret plan? Ooh, fingers crossed, hopefully this is good. Ooh, very impactful beginning. Wow. Oh, those horns are lovely. Very gorgeous imagery as well. Very ancient. Oh, wow. Yeah, totally different vibe from everyone else. Oh, wow. Oh, people are gonna like this. It's got a lot of attitude. It's got so much culture in it. Yeah, I'm already getting Televote vibes in terms of that cultural feel. Lovely horns here, the brass instrumentation. Very easy to get a bop on, very easy to process this beat. I love the styling, the way her hair's done, the outfits, so pretty. Yeah, I really like this. I love getting this cultural feel. It feels like you go to a festival, a cultural festival, and people will be dancing to this, doing traditional dance. It's awesome. Lovely little. Oh, and she's got a cock. That sounded bad. And the apples rolling down the hill. Yeah, some call and response here. It's very cute. It feels super cultural. I'm not picking it like a super hook. But the vibe of it is so warm and lovely. Very welcoming, hospitable. And we're gonna get dancing. We're gonna have costumes. I love her attitude as well, her smirk. Yeah, she's given a lot of rebellious attitude. It's this rebellion mixed with kind of traditional culture. Yeah, lovely. Really, really, really nice. God, that's so different. Okay, what are my first impressions? Definitely one of the most interesting songs that we have this year because it's just so incredibly unique. There's nothing like that this year. And it's really great to have our dose of like extremely ethnic. Let me just go quickly make sure I'm not like skipping anyone. And I know that like Gote in Norway has like ethnic elements too, but it is also like a rock song. That felt like very kind of pure traditional ethnic. Greece, I suppose, has some ethnic elements too as well, mixed with modern. Estonia, a tiny bit as well. Yeah, but this feels like the most purely traditional ethnic song, so it's got a really, really, really strong point of view and identity. The costumes looked amazing. I loved what she was wearing. It looked really, really gorgeous. These vibrant colors. I loved the way her hair was done. Very rich, introducing me to lots of cool new cultural things I hadn't seen before. I like that we're in this kind of like beautiful mountain village with the apples rolling down. She was holding a hen, which I referred to in the wrong way, which I may have to edit out. Yeah, and the sound of it was very warm and welcoming. It felt like what I would hear if I went to kind of a cultural Armenian night and people were welcoming in and offering me food and they would get me drunk and we would go dancing together. It reminded me a little bit of like Televote from Moldova 22, which also had like these nice kind of traditional costumes and this really friendly party sound. So yeah, I think a lot of people are going to go on. It doesn't have as many of the hooks though, because obviously there's less English in it. So it didn't have the hey ho, let's go folklore and rock and roll, which was super catchy that got people in. But a lot of people really loved Moldova for this light, happy, ethnic feel that it had. And I think that that can very much fill the same niche. I don't think it'll be as successfully so, because it doesn't have that fun bridge to that lyric was very clever. But who knows, they could find another bridge in the staging. So yeah, this is exciting. It's interesting. I love the way the instruments sound and the vibe and the feel, but like I couldn't pick out a melody that was particularly strong. Obviously going for a second listen later on. It gave me happiness and warmth. I think those are probably the two emotions that I felt. Also a little bit short as well. So I'm wondering, could there be some sort of like traditional dance in the middle, like not a dance break, but like a version of such. Let me go for a quick look at the lyrics and then I'll do a silent second listen. Okay, so the song is called Jako, which I said is a nickname for her. La la la, they tell me, Jako, be humble. Don't talk too much. Don't stay too quiet. Wear this, open this, close that. Okay, so instantly we get what the theme is here. It's that she's been told what to do in a traditional culture. The next line, behave like a girl, but I am a free girl, so I will dance and you will watch. Perfect. It's quite short actually, other than the la la la's, there's only 12 lines, but that's a really like strong, it's very dense in terms of theme. Like she really is not using much ambiguity there. She's fully telling you, I am a free girl. So yeah, I like that the lyrics are like super direct. Obviously now people at home won't understand what she's saying, so they're going to have to slightly infer it from the staging or whatever they decide to do. But what a lovely autobiographical theme, a little bit of woman power, you know, asserting her independence. Okay, second verse, come, come, come and join me. No matter what they say, we will forget about the time again. Come on, come on, come on, my dear, get up and dance. Okay, so lovely. Bring a message of togetherness as well. So this is female empowerment, but also come join me. I want to be a positive, independent person and I welcome you in as well. Very short. I would like to see more lyrics because I actually am interested in her story. But then again, most people aren't going to understand what she's saying anyway. So I was criticizing Moldova for also being quite short. But those 10 lines, like 8 of them were meaningless generic lyric. Whereas this, like every line has a purpose and feels like it's written by her. So this is the thing, you can go short if you want, but just make sure that you're actually saying something. With that in mind, let me go in for my silent second listen and see if that changes anything, I think. She's very magnetic. She's really got like fun personality. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the staging. These visuals are gorgeous. Absolutely love them. All these colors, these beautiful carpets that they have in this really lovely mountain village. We've got her traditional costume in the outfit, which looks beautiful. Totally ready for the Eurovision stage. Louis' outfit seemed a lot more simple. Didn't look as traditional. Maybe that's because he doesn't have as much of a connection, so he feels like it might be appropriation if he wore it. So I'm not sure what they'll do for him in terms of styling on the stage. But yeah, the colors look really, really beautiful. I'm getting a timeless feel. I feel like this scene that we're seeing, so you can imagine that you're in a different time period, which is really, really cool. So it gives it like a fantasy, going back in time, historical story feel. She's a real superstar for me. She's got a lot of personality. Those bits where she was doing like the funky chicken, and then when she's boxing as well and stealing the apples and rolling them down the hill, she's just got a lot of spunk, and even just like a small smile. She's just got a real energy to her and connection with the camera. So I think she's going to be a little bit of a superstar here if she's strong live. The call and response bit is kind of interesting because presumably when we get to Eurovision, everyone will know. She'll say da 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 and everyone in the audience will know and shout it. And actually it might have a little bit of a moment like Moldova, Tonelețul, where people were saying that one bit in English. And then also after that call and response, she has this beautiful big note as well. So yeah, if she can perform the studio version live, I think there's quite a few wow moments with this, both visually and sonically. So I feel like the stage show is going to be largely what we saw there. I hope that they bring all those colors to LED. I'm presuming that we're going to have 4 dancers in traditional outfits, maybe 2 guys, 2 girls, maybe a couple of props on the stage to make it look like a village, or maybe they might go for something more simple, but I feel like there's going to be a lot of dancing here. We had quite a long dance break. Yeah, I think it's just going to be fun. This is what a lot of people tune into Eurovision to see, and I feel like the staging is going to be giving everybody their cultural dose that they're craving of learning about cultures that they normally wouldn't see or encounter. So this is clever. It feels very authentic. I would love the LEDs to have this theme of the carpets. I thought those carpets are really, really beautiful, and they feel like these kind of like more natural colors, again, which gives it that timeless feel. You know, if they were neon pinks or something, it will kind of take us out of that world a tiny bit. So I love the idea of like having this mountain village or seeing lots of the carpets coming in. A little bit similar to what Manisha did with her staging. I felt like she brought in some kind of more historical elements, and that gave a really cool mix to the song. Before we talk about how this is going to do, let's talk about Armenia's place in the contest. So in the last 10 years, Armenia are ranked 14th. They've never won before. They joined the contest in 2006, and I felt like for quite a while they were one of the countries who I thought were going to win pretty soon. And then they had a little bit of a dip in 2018 and 2019. You can see their 2 non-qualifications. They had to take a year off in 2021. Now they've come back and they've kind of got this new identity for sending like very authentic Armenian artists. 3 female singers in a row, which I think is really cool as well. So 22 having obviously Rosalind Snap, which is I think the most streamed song on Spotify in Eurovision ever. I think Duncan Lawrence is number 2. And then 23 with Brunette, also a very cool entry as well. So yeah, I feel like this continues this new kind of identity that they've come back with since 22. You can see earlier back in 2014, they came 4th. That was RM-MP3, who was actually favored to win. That year, I remember him being quite high up in the odds. And then 2016, Iveta Makuchan, which was my favorite in 2016, also doing very well. So definitely used to be a little bit stronger in the noughties and the start of the 10s. Went off a little bit, but now they're recatching their breath. And I feel like they're back on track. Feels like they kind of found their own little niche in how they're finding their songs and who they're picking to represent them now. Okay, so let's talk about how this can do. First of all, can this qualify? So this is in the first half of the second semi-final, and this is the quarter that has a lot of female artists in it. I think this is going to stand out. It really does. It's very, very, very unique. There's nothing else that's really like it other than Greece. I think Greece does have a couple of those ethnic sounds as well. And I think they're just going to put them very far apart. So Armenia last year were 2nd in the running order. So I wonder for that reason, would they put Armenia later and put Greece earlier? It feels like Greece can kind of qualify from any spot anyway. So maybe they might put Greece 1st or 2nd or 3rd, and then maybe put Armenia more towards the end, just out of kind of fairness. I do think they need to put those 2 apart. Even though Greece has a bit more of a modern feel and this feels more traditional, I still think that both of them shine better if they're just spaced apart. I would assume Armenia will get the better draw there, and if they are put later, kind of 8th, 9th in the running order, keep in mind we have 3 automatic qualifiers performing in the semi-finals this year: France, Spain and Italy in semi-final number 2. So we don't know how many songs are going to be in the first half. Currently it's 8, but it might be 9 or 10 or even 11. So if Ladaniva get pushed towards kind of 9th, 10th running order spot, definitely qualifying. Now, if this is put first, I don't really think of this as an opening song, because although it starts the party, I think they usually want to start the party in English if possible. I think it'd be very unfair if it opened after being 2nd last year. I think that's very unfair. But yeah, I'm thinking this can qualify because it'll probably get given a good running order, very distinctive. It's going to sound like people will remember this, the Armenian party song with the costumes and the clapping and the happiness and the joy. Yeah, no, you can't really get more televote than that. Now, obviously, if they have a disaster on stage, or something goes really, really wrong. I'm just going off current information. So how will this do in the final? So I think televote wise, it'll do pretty decently as well. I think same emotions will be appreciated in the final. Can it have a Tranele Tsul moment? I don't really think so. Tranele Tsul was very lucky in that it came after 4 ballads in a year with actually quite few televote bait songs. So it was a great song. Absolutely, really, really fantastic. But it had the most perfect running order you could possibly imagine. Very little rivals for its vibe and feel. Whereas this year, I think we've got quite a few happy, bubbly, lovely songs. So yeah, I don't think it'll get a televote like that. You know, definitely could be contending for top 10 in the televote if they get a lot of things right and they bring the mischievous side of her and this like very cute, powerful woman who's still very lovable and builds a connection with people back home. Jury wise, I think it'll do pretty well. I know France is going to give this 12. So last year the French public gave Brunette 12 and the jury gave it 7. So yeah, I'm expecting something similar. I'm just looking at the scores from last year. The Albanian jury gave Brunette 10 and the Georgian jury gave it 10. So possibly expecting similar points from the jury this year. Yeah, I'd expect this kind of somewhere in the middle if it makes the final. I think the televote will be just a little bit stronger, although jury points tend to be more spread out than the televote is. So being 10th in the televote actually gives you less points than being 10th in the jury, but that's just roughly how the points are distributed. Also, we saw that last year Armenia got a pretty decent rest of the world score as well. So I wonder, is that going to be the same this year? It's got a very strong Armenian identity, so anybody who's kind of got an Armenian background is going to love this because it might be nostalgic for music that they heard when they're younger or that they hear at cultural events. So I think that this will have a big diaspora feel as well. So do I think this can win. I don't really see a winning potential, I'll be honest, but I think top 10 is definitely achievable if they make a lot of good decisions and if it really remains that they really stand out. Again, like if this looks very different to Greece, or I think Gote is ethnic, but it's just so different from this. I don't even think that they overlap, other than the fact that they both have ethnic elements. They just sound completely different. So I don't think we need to worry about that. So yeah, I think top 10 is possible, but yeah, I don't see this winning at this point in time. Okay, and what does the community think? And this is currently in 21st place, very close to Estonia out of 37. So that's not bad at all. And I have seen a lot of love for this on Twitter. People were really enjoying it. I think a lot of people are looking forward to seeing the performance as well. So it's been pretty warmly received. I don't think it's going to be competing for the win, and I would like Armenia to win at some point. But I like the current trajectory that they have now. They seem to have a plan. They've got an identity. They're not compromising. They're not trying to be another country in order to succeed. They're trying to find what is their strategy, still being Armenian, which I think is really cool. And you know, I think if you persist with that and continue to send quality, I think they will eventually get that first win. But I think this entry is really fantastic. Okay, what did you think about Ladaniva singing Jako? Leave me a comment in the comment section down below. Thank you so much to Ian and Anonymous for supporting me on Buy Me a Coffee. No new donations on PayPal, but if you want to support the channel, I'll leave links for you in the description down below. I'm a full-time content creator. And of course, thank you to my patrons for patronizing me from all over the world. On my Patreon, you can get the original audio and visuals when I get copyrighted. You can be part of our My Eurovision Scoreboard group. You can get some updates on upcoming videos and some early releases. So go check that out if you're a fan. But of course, thanks so much just for watching and maybe leaving a like and maybe sharing the video. And thanks so much for watching. See you in another Eurovision analysis video very soon. Goodbye.